Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a topic that is hiding in plain sight in, well, almost every driveway across the country. We're going to unpack the brutal and honestly quite surprising mathematical reality of modern auto loans, specifically the ones attached to pickup trucks. So, picture this, right? It's a Saturday afternoon at your local Costco parking lot. You watch a brand new crew cab, factory fresh pickup truck back into a spot. I mean, the chrome on this thing is blinding. A guy steps out wearing an HVAC polo shirt, grabs his lunchbox, drops the tailgate, and loads in a single case of bottled water. That's it. That is the entire haul for a truck that literally cost more than his parents' first house. It begs the question, who can actually afford this in 2026? Let's jump right into Section 1, the $50,000 truck myth, luxury pricing in a high-vis vest. Okay, we need to start with a pretty uncomfortable truth here. 50 grand? Yeah, that used to buy you a fully loaded luxury truck. Today, that's just the floor. The actual average transaction price for a new full-size pickup right now is a staggering $66,000. And if you're looking at the top tier, models like the Raptor R are hitting $113,000. These trucks have quietly transformed into pure luxury items. Just look at these popular base trims. You're starting around $48,000. By the time you slap on destination fees and taxes, you blow right past that $50,000 mark, and that's without even getting leather seats. To put that into perspective, the median pre-tax household income in America is about $84,000. So we're basically asking households to spend 60% of their total gross earnings on a single depreciating piece of metal. Which brings us to Section 2, the dealership magic trick. Focus on the monthly payments. You're probably wondering, how on earth are people actually paying for these things? Well, when you walk into a dealership, that veteran salesman isn't going to ask what you can afford overall. No, he's going to ask, what kind of monthly payment are you comfortable with? And boom, the trap is set. Step 1, $0 down. Step 2, a 7% average interest rate. Step 3, they stretch that loan out to 84 months. That's 7 years. Step 4, suddenly your monthly payment is a manageable $754.85. And this is working. Nearly 30% of new truck loans are now stretched out between 6 and 7 years. But here's the absolute brutal reality hiding behind that manageable payment. Over the life of that loan, you are going to pay $13,407 purely in interest. You are essentially buying a free Honda Civic and just handing the keys to the bank, all for the privilege of spreading out your payments. And this whole setup, it triggers what we call the silent bleed. It's like a slow-motion car accident. Day 1, you drive off the lot and lose 20% of the value instantly. By year 1, your truck is worth maybe $40,000, but you still owe $45,700. You are immediately $5,700 underwater. By year 5, the truck has lost half its original value. And guess what? The truck doesn't care if your transmission blows or if your overtime gets cut at work. It demands its $754.85 every single month, no matter what. Now, this next stat is just genuinely wild to me. In the fourth quarter of 2025, over 20% of all new vehicle purchases came with a monthly payment of $1,000 or more. 1 in 5. That isn't a car payment anymore, guys. That is a second rent. That eats up a third of a median worker's take-home pay, just for the ability to commute to work. So, what's the big takeaway here? It's understanding the massive difference between these two concepts. Being approved is literally just the bank's risk tolerance. The bank's idea of approved includes you eating instant ramen for dinner and skipping your kids' dental appointments just to make the payment. Being able to afford it, that's your actual financial stability. Because of this gap, the new truck market has quietly priced out the middle class, and it's now dominated by the top 15% of earners. Let's look at Section 3, hidden ownership cost, beyond the loan. Because, that loan is literally just the beginning. The dealership conveniently leaves out the fact that running a truck daily costs a small fortune. You've got your $755 loan, then add about $185 for insurance. Fuel is easily $275 a month if you're driving an average 15,000 miles at 18 miles per gallon. Add in maintenance, registration, taxes, and tires, which, by the way, run anywhere from $800 to $1,600 for standard set. When you add the whole shebang up, your true monthly burden is $1,400. Now, numbers on a screen are easy to just gloss over, so let's ground this in reality. Meet Carlos and Maria. They make $90,000 a year, taking home about $5,600 a month. Carlos drives 38 miles on the highway every day with a completely empty truck bed. Meanwhile, Maria drives the kids in a 2014 CRV with 140,000 miles and a glowing check engine light. After rent, childcare, groceries, utilities, and that massive $1,400 truck expense, they have exactly $0 left. No emergency fund, no savings, no 401k. You see, Carlos genuinely thought he was making the responsible choice by buying the base model work truck just to carry his lunchbox to his desk job. But the unshown math trapped him for 6.5 years. As this quote perfectly sums it up, the truck didn't ruin his life, the math did. Moving on to Section 4, Actual Truck Usage, the grocery getter. Now, don't get me wrong, some people absolutely need trucks for their livelihood, but looking at the broader data on modern American truck usage is honestly pretty eye-opening. This was from a massive strategic vision survey of 250,000 truck owners. A staggering 90% of truck owners never use their truck for any kind of work. 10% do. The vast, overwhelming majority absolutely do not. We're basically dealing with the Costco vehicle reality here. 75% of owners tow once a year or less. 70% go off-road once a year or less. Think of Dave, the office manager. He buys a massive truck to haul a $40 Facebook Marketplace couch and a kayak that has literally never seen water. 87% of F-150s are frequently used just for shopping and errands. These vehicles have essentially become a four-wheeled performance of a rugged identity, rather than an actual utility vehicle. Which leads us to our final part, Section 5, the million-dollar choice, opportunity cost. All right, this brings us to the single most important calculation of this entire explainer. Let's compare that $1,400 monthly truck burden to a boring, reliable 5-year-old used Toyota Camry. The Camry costs about $700 a month all in. That's the loan, gas, insurance, everything. That isolates a massive difference of $700 every single month. So what happens if you actually take that $700 difference and invest it into a basic S&P 500 index fund, returning 8% annually for 30 years? You get over $1 million. $1.04 million to be exact. This is the literal difference between dying with piles of bills and retiring comfortably at 65. That right there is the true cost of the truck. You know, traditional financial wisdom points to the 24-10 rule. 20% down, finance for no more than 4 years, and keep your total transportation costs under 10% of your gross income. To actually afford this $50,000 truck using this responsible rule, you would need a $150,000 salary and $10,000 in cash. Because most people simply don't have that, the system gently nudges the middle class right into those 84-month traps where the dealer, the bank, and the insurance company all make a profit, and the buyer loses. Look, nobody at Fidelity is out there buying a yacht just because you opened an index fund, but I promise you, everyone at the dealership profits when you finance a truck. So I urge you, before you sign anything, just sit down for 30 minutes and do the actual math. Because the bravest financial decision you can make right now isn't buying a luxury vehicle disguised as workwear. It's asking yourself this: will you buy an identity today, or will you secure your retirement for tomorrow?